Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Ghost of Tsushima. Please forgive the title of the stream, which it just now occurs to me was not updated. That is on me. My apologies. So, let's go ahead. I don't remember why I would have sent a course down there. So, as of our last episode, we were going to sort of ride our way north here. We are looking for the last two prefectures or territories here in the southern part of Tsushima that have not yet been liberated. And this is all in preparation to go north. I really wanted Jin to have finished everything on his itinerary before wandering into new lands, because the way that I tend to play these games is I really enjoy going through and doing as much as there is to be done right up until we hit credits. And once credits have happened, I typically lose all interest in continuing to play, which is never a knock against the game, but it's sort of like, once my character has finished their main goal, to then go around and, you know, rescue hostages and stuff, it's like, but I beat it, I won the game, it's not my problem anymore. It's a weird way to think about it for sure. Okay, well, this is good. Yeah, sure, let's do a standoff. Hello to Drienne. Drienne, I hope that you're having a nice Wednesday. And a very good Veterans Day as well. Hey, still can't block that. Adrian just woke up about half an hour ago. Well, hopefully the rest of the day goes well.
You're going to be all right.
Actually, getting to get a whole bunch of sleep sounds wonderful to me.
They burned my farm at the river path, between Tsutsu and Azamo. You can see their men from the cliffs above.
That's good to know. I'll have a look.
Hey, Devin. I hope you're having a nice day. Might even have the day off. That'd be nice. Okay, yeah, let's hold options for details. Okay, awesome. Yep. So that is exactly the kind of information that I need to have.
You're doing good, Sora.
So much stress lately that Drienne's body decided that today means sleep. So actually, earlier today, we were sort of getting prepped to do an exhibition stream of Anno 2070. We talked about this last episode. It has not happened yet. But, you know, you want to go in and try to show the game off to the best extent that you can, and that means, you know, remembering how the mechanics and so forth work. So I just immediately got found out. Do I just kick in the front door for a change? All right. Oh, the bears are doing it for us. Well, that's perfect. The reaction you heard there was a bit of surprise that Jin did some sort of move instead of simply changing stances and successfully parrying that. But that's okay. Devin's asking, have I seen all the people talking about the PS5 and Xbox? I sure have. And, like, legitimately, like, I don't know how to express this without, it feels like anytime I try to type this out, it sounds sarcastic because, you know, we were not able to get one here. Legitimately, I earnestly mean it. Congratulations to everyone that could. There have been many times, like I remember the release of the GameCube, the release of the Xbox 360. I was so excited for those, and it was like I wanted to get them at launch so much that it was like a big deal. So although we were not here, like, I'm cool with it. And I'm very excited for the people that were able to get the ones that they wanted. For example, it appears that based on a screenshot that he showed off, Mr. Binky has successfully gotten his Xbox One. No, not Xbox One. I actually don't know which Xbox. The new Xbox. I don't know if it's a Series S or Series X. I assume he would have gone for the Series X, but that is supposition. But yeah, so he's now able to play Watch Dogs Legion with like full ray tracing and stuff, and seemed pretty excited about it in that he was posting about it on Twitter. So yeah, that's really neat. Drian saying there's too many of them to have seen them all. Yeah, that is the major topic of conversation. I will say this. So we are recording this on, I believe, November 11th, 2020. And what is that, one day before the alleged release of the PlayStation 5? And one day after the alleged release of the Xbox Series X. And I'll just say, I have absolutely no idea where anybody went to get them. Everything I've seen on every site was sold out so fast that only The Flash and a series of AI bots had any chance of ever getting them. So again, congratulations to those that did. Hello to Aleknax. Real quick, we're going to read about the Mongol plans. Mongol leaders craft detailed plans on how to infiltrate enemy territory and gather first-hand knowledge of defensive systems, road, crops, water supplies, and more. They also send spies to plant dissension among enemy warlords and leaders to employ propaganda designed to convince the local population that the Mongols are liberators of the poor. Which, like, I would just... It feels unlikely based on what we have been told about the Mongolian hordes, but it is conceivable that the people there would believe them to be liberators of the poor, depending on their station in life prior to the invasion. So I am going to go ahead and challenge remaining enemies because oh, there they are. But still not all of them. Okay. Me. Yeah, let's just announce ourselves. Aleknax has been playing some Dark Souls Remastered on his Switch while he waits for Destiny 2 to upgrade. Apparently it is a 64 or 65 gigabyte upgrade. Now that's like the Beyond Light upgrade, and that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the one that like sunsets a whole bunch of content, which is an interesting way to do your game because, like, for example, I've never played Destiny 2, so I guess now there's a whole version of the game that I will never be able to play because they've decided to take that content out and presumably replace it with something else that is better? Question mark? Okay. And I know, like, it's on me. Like, I could have played at any point. It's been free for a good long time. Oh, that was... that was the thing that we came to do. You know, I could have played it, but also I didn't realize there was a time limit. I didn't realize that there would be a date on which, like, no, you can't access this anymore. We took it away. Aleknax is saying they're cycling old content out to refurbish it. Okay, well, I mean, if it comes back later and it's free and good and improved in some way, that's okay. It seemed like people liked it a lot. Like the base version, I remember there being a lot of positive feelings or impressions of the base campaign. Due to size problems, Aleknax says. Interesting. The thing is, now that that project is back in the hands of Bungie and not Activision, I have greater faith, not total faith, but greater faith that whatever it is that they wind up doing in terms of cycling that content back in, it's not going to be malicious and predatory in the way that a lot of Activision projects come off as being. But it should be noted, as with so many topics, I don't actually know what I'm talking about. It's just sort of me reading online. I will say this, like, again, for the folks that are excited for the new consoles, yeah, there's a lot of people that are also really excited for the Destiny 2 stuff, like Mr. Bones, for example. So that's super fun for him. All right, one more fox shrine. Oh, let's pet the fox. One more fox shrine, and we will have the Charm of Inari's Might, which is, if I were to guess, is going to be a major charm that does some sort of major, like, upgrade to weapon strength or maybe your health bar. Like, might can mean a couple different things. Devin is asking, in my opinion, what's the worst game you played, and why is it the worst game? That's going to take a minute, because I have an extremely definitive answer on that. When it was asked earlier, what's your favorite game of all time, that one's tough, because there's so many games that are so good. I have an extremely specific game that is the worst game I have ever played. It is one that has held true for many years, and in order to answer that question, we're going to go on a little journey, because I don't think it's enough to just say, oh, that's the worst game that I've ever played. What's the worst game that you've ever played? Is it a game that disappointed you? Well, I mean, I would certainly think that that's something very important, because if you play a game that's just bad, like if I pick up, like we talked about Dark the other day, I thought Dark sounded cool. When it came out and was not good, I didn't wind up playing it. But if I had, it's not like I was expecting it to be some masterpiece, so I would have been disappointed, like, oh, this didn't turn out very good, and that's fine. You know, the Age of Empires games just don't strike me personally. I've tried them. They're okay. I didn't like them as much as Empire Earth or some of their contemporaries, so they were, like, kind of disappointing. But that's not the worst game that I've ever played. I've played games that have been outright broken. Assassin's Creed Liberation is a very good example of a game that, in my opinion, not in my opinion, in my experience, was just broken, like to a degree that made it technically difficult to play. There's there's a game mechanic in it where your character, whose name I forget right at the moment, needs to be able to, like, see through an envelope. So you were supposed to hold your PlayStation Vita up to a light source. I tried a light bulb, I tried a flashlight, I tried the Earth's sun. None of these things were apparently bright enough to register as a light bulb for the PlayStation Vita. There was also a memorable boss fight in which I hacked the boss. This is very early on. I cut that guy in the arteries for a solid 3-minute combo, and he would not go down until I stopped pressing buttons, at which point he finally fell over. That game is not good. I do not like Assassin's Creed Liberation. I personally do not qualify it as being a mainline Assassin's Creed game because it was released on the Vita, and I have a few different things about it. I feel like it was mechanically a big step back in a number of ways. But that is for sure not the worst game that I've ever played. So I think that in order for the game to be the worst thing that you've ever played, it's got to be pretty broken, like Assassin's Creed Liberation. B, it's got to be disappointing. It's got to be something that you had high hopes for, like Assassin's Creed Liberation. But it has to go beyond that, doesn't it? Remember that on the Vita. Yeah. There can be like a brand new game. I want to find something in my mind other than Dark, just because I've used that a couple times. You know, something that came out that I wound up being pretty disappointed in. But if there's like a brand new franchise, like if Horizon Zero Dawn had come out and hadn't been very good, again, that would have been disappointing, but not like crushing. It would have been, oh man, they really stole my, this is not true of Horizon Zero Dawn, by the way, but man, they really stole my $60 and I'm mad about it. But that's not the same thing as if they, for example, what if they took a game in a running franchise and they released a new game in the franchise that was very bad, what if that game was extremely broken in a way that made it, again, much like Assassin's Creed Liberation, effectively unplayable? Some might say actually unplayable. So it's not just some random game that you have sort of had high hopes for, but rather something that it's sort of like the follow-up to previous games that you adored, and it is so bastardized and ruined so as to be unrecognizable from anything that you enjoyed about it. I think that is an important quality to be the worst game that you've ever played. Then there has to be a deliberate subversion of your expectations. In other words, in order for it to be the worst, not only do you have to have high expectations that are then set aside, but those high expectations, they have to be like amped up more, don't they? They have to be like say, for example, what if before the game came out, there were reviews that said it was awesome? So it's not just that it's part of a franchise that you care a lot about, not just that you have high expectations about it, but you're looking at reviews, say one on IGN, for example, that had a 9.3, that they said this is a new high water mark for the franchise. This is something that's going to be the new standard bearer for the franchise. It's so awesome, you guys. It's so good. And this came out beforehand. So you were like even more hyped up for it than you would have been. It would have to be that, right? As well? And then, and this is the final thing, the game has to be released, I think, in a way that makes it clear that even if none of those things were true, the game design is broken on such a fundamental core level that it would make you doubt the sanity of the people that made it. It's not just that it was like rushed to release and maybe they can patch it, but that even if all the technical flaws were fixed, even if the incredibly ugly, hideous graphics were somehow patched out and replaced with ones that look better, even if the unworkable interface was completely redesigned from the ground up, the base core of the game is so fucked that it can never be unfucked. They would have to completely tear out the core fundamentals of the gameplay and then rebuild it from scratch. What game could I possibly be describing? Yeah, Drian's saying that I have not played The Last of Us Part 2. So here's my answer, because that's my build-up, and here's the answer, Devin. And this is why, this many years later, it's the worst game I've ever played. And it's so specific with all the things that I've just said, I cannot fathom it ever being unseated. The worst game I've ever played is one that you probably have not heard of, and most people in chat have probably never played for sure. The worst game I've ever played is one called Master of Orion 3. I wanted that game so much. I was so excited for it. I was so ready for it. I played Master of Orion on a lark. I went to the store and it was on a shelf alongside the original XCOM, the first XCOM from Simtex Software, Simtex. And I bought both of the games on the same day. And let me tell you something, that was a hell of a trip home from the store. Like if you are unfamiliar with XCOM or Master of Orion, that's akin to getting a Mario, Zelda, and Metroid game all on the same day. I mean, and that you play for hundreds of hours. I loved Master Orion. And then Master Orion 2 came out at a very specific point in my life when there was a gaming drought like I have never encountered. There were months and months and months of nothing that came out. And Master Orion 2 was in development, and the gaming magazines at the time were showing off all of these awesome screenshots about it and showing off the gameplay mechanics. And me and my friends were so excited. We were so excited for Master Orion 2. And then it came out, and it was everything that I'd wanted it to be. I have played thousands of hours of Master Orion 2. So when it was announced, after years of hiatus, that Master Orion 3 was coming out, and it was being done by this new studio, Quicksilver, but it was stocked with all of these ex-Simtex employees, and it was going to be like a huge expansion, return to form. I was so excited. And then IGN, I believe this review is still on today. I think that you can still find this review on IGN today. Go check out the review for Master Ryan 3. Hello to Jara Cha, which I may be mispronouncing it. It may be Yara Cha. I hope that you are doing well. Devin asked, what's the worst game that I ever played? And I recently revealed that it is Master Ryan 3. So we're just sort of talking through that briefly while we unfog a very small amount of the map here in Ghost of Tsushima. IGN gave Master Ryan 3 something like a 9.8, 9.3. It was over 9. And hello to Haseo. I would encourage people to look at that review and to understand, and I really mean this, every word of that is a lie. There is no version of that game that they ever played that is anything remotely like what is in that review. Oh, that was... I had slow-mo and everything. I just completely whiffed that. And that review came out before the game came out. And then here's the real kicker. My shipment, I ordered Master Ryan 3 from the company, directly from, I think it was called Quicksilver Games, because I wanted to support the developer. Jara, and I'm a guy, everybody says, you mean, it's an Arab guy. Oh, I'm sorry, I might have, sorry. But Jara had a bad day. No need to be sorry. We all have bad days. I wanted to support the developer, so I did something that I never normally do, and I bought directly from their store website. And on the day that it was supposed to come out, they tried to here's one more piece of information. I bought 2 copies. I bought 2 copies of the game because I was so sure, especially based on that glowing IGN review, that I'd be playing Master Ryan 3 with my friends and with my family. Like, I was so excited about it. My shipment got delayed because they had tried to deliver it and there was nobody home to sign for it. And when I got that notification, so I was like checking the shipping notification, I was so angry that I like threw a book against the wall because I was so excited about it. And the idea that I was going to have to wait extra days to play it was such a disappointment. And when I played it, Devin's asking, do I see it as a fault in the marketing for building it up falsely or the game company itself? Like, the thing that is wrong about Master Ryan 3 is everything. It is a game with absolutely no redeeming qualities at all. It's a remarkable achievement of utter and unmitigated failure. You need to see it. You need to look at it with your eyes and understand. Like go look up screenshots. Go look up some sort of Jara is saying, or Jara? Sorry, I'm still uncertain on how to pronounce it. I do like this game very much. This game is really good. We're just sort of cleaning up the map a little bit. And on that note, no, I still want to go up here. If you look at Master Ryan 3, it is hideously ugly. And sometimes you look at old games, either ones that you see and how you've seen before and you have fond memories of, or ones that you've never seen before and you're like, oh, that doesn't look very good at all. But you need to understand that Master Ryan 3 was abysmally ugly when it came out. Like, it's not like the art style aged poorly. It's that it doesn't have an art style. It has cyan-colored Excel spreadsheets in place of graphics, and that was not an acceptable art style back when the game was originally released. Oh, can I do my launch attack? Hold on, we've never done this before. Yes, we can. Whoops. Sorry, that was right through the head. Oh, thank you for the follow. So the thing is, sorry, because Devin, this is part of your answer. In Master Run 3, the graphics are bad, the AI is bad, the combat is bad. And here's the thing that is the most bewildering thing about Master Run 3. Remember when I said that the core gameplay has to be so fucked that it can never be unfucked? It can never be fixed. Well, that's the deal with Master Ryan 3, because the basic core gameplay premise is that anything you do in the game will be undone by the AI character that is playing your faction. The only thing you can do in Master Ryan 3 is click end turn, because whatever you try to do is going to be undone by the Viceroy. There's an AI governor that is nominally in charge of everything, so no matter what decision you make or what policy you try to institute, after you click next turn, the AI will undo it. Oh, hold on, I've got a new haiku. Oh, good. I need to calm down because I'm really keyed up about Master Ryan 3. Hold on a second. All right, let's reflect on rage. Oh, sorry, fear. I like this one. Oh, I really like that. See, sometimes you find one that, or you see one that is just like, it's just automatically perfect. But I do want to see, just in case there's one even better. Also, I'm not sure that being cloaked in leaves is quite the same as Death's armor. I bet it's up higher. Yeah, it is. No. No. I like cloaked in Death's armor for sure.
Disappearing light. Darkness grows and reaches out. Cloaked in death's armor.
I want to see the headband of fear. Ooh. Actually, I kind of like that. I kind of like that with this outfit specifically. I'm going to put that on. So, Devin had asked, like, with that being said, do you believe that had the game been built to the level of hype, had not been built to the level of hype, would it have hit you as hard? But see, that's the thing about the worst game that I've ever played. It had to be, it is the perfect confluence of and the game was just straight up broken is the thing. Like, it didn't function in the way that it was supposed to. And there's actually been some interesting articles written about Master Ryan 3. One that stuck with me is written by Bruce Garrick, and I think that he wrote it over on Quarter to 3, but I'm not certain that it is easily accessible because it was on their previous website. And it would be far too mechanical, I think, to talk about here. But in order for, the answer to the question, Devin, is that in order for it to be as bad as it was, all of those things needed to be in place. It has to be built around a terrible idea that people don't want to be in charge of the strategy in their strategy game. That aspect of it has to be broken and unplayable. The game has to be hideously ugly, and it has to be like part of an existing franchise that I already know and adore, and it has to have those positive reviews that come up that make you believe that it's going to be awesome. So if any of those things had not been true, it would not have been as damaging of an experience. And when I say damaging, I mean, like, it's a bad video game. Let's put it into perspective. It's not like I was diagnosed with a medical condition. It's just like, that is... But that's the thing. It can never be supplanted, because I have never again looked forward to a game that much. That was a real learning experience for me, to realize, like, no matter what it looks like, no matter how good it looks, it could all be fiction. And as a result, I've never wanted a game as much as I wanted that one, and I will never be as disappointed as I was about Master Orion 3. That is a sleek armor set, or sword set. I don't think I want it with this particular outfit, though, but we're gonna look at some of our other outfits later. Standoff? Wait, who can I stand off against? Jera is saying... Hold on. Me, after watching Joker, reflect on depression. Joker was a really good game, wasn't it? Or, sorry, movie. And I will respond to Devin as well.
Hold still.
No, we're gonna get some dialogue here. 1 second.
Thank you, my lord. I was captured when the Mongols took Fort Imai.
They needed an outpost. Easy access to the coast. Well positioned to supply their forces in Otsuna and Umugi.
They broke through the fort's wall. Slaughtered everyone hiding inside.
I'll avenge them. Find somewhere safe.
There was also one other aspect to Master Orion 3. It also had an extremely elaborate and well-advertised beta period where, like, you could sign up. And I tried to get into the beta and was unsuccessful. And, like, so once the NDA on the beta dropped, then people who knew and had played the game were coming forward and telling these elaborate tales of these, like, you know, galactic conquests that they'd gone in. It's I've never at any point I realize now specified that Master Orion 3 was a it's a 4x real-time 4x turn-based strategy game. I'm gonna head to Adachi Estate so that we can skip a whole bunch of the travel. So your goal is to start on one planet and then to expand out to an interstellar empire, build up fleets of ships, and defeat your opponents along a variety of different possible axes. And the way that it was described in the beta test by the beta testers sounded so awesome. So, but the thing is, those were all, as far as I know, private people. They weren't paid or bribed or extorted into giving glowing recommendations of the game. I don't know what game they were talking about. I don't know what game IGN was talking about. It is important to note, this is not like my weird reading on Master Orion 3. This is like what the game was. And every other review came back and said, this game is awful. It's really bad. I think one of the things that Bruce Garrick said in his review was, you could, like, Master Orion 3 is a real, it turned out to be a real, not litmus test, that's not quite the right word, but, hold on, outfit, Ronin attire, and on the Ronin attire specifically, let's, oh, but I really like his purple swords, black and purple swords. That's okay, we can mix it up here a little bit. Yeah, let's use this one. Gives us a little color. Assassinate an enemy from above. That's not going to count, but that's... Oops. I don't know what he saw. Hold on a second. What I was getting at is that Bruce Garrick was saying that Master Ryan 3 exposed which strategy reviewers actually play the games that they are reviewing versus which ones are too like play and understand their games versus which ones if they don't understand it if it's incomprehensible, they just assume that they're not smart enough to understand it and will give it a good review for being sophisticated, which was, I think, sort of one of the lines that was tried with Master Ryan 3. Oh, it is a good game, it's just that it's very complicated. No, it's not complicated. You press next turn. That's all you can do. If you press anything else, the AI will correct your mistake and then continue to play the game for itself. It's like war games where Whopper declared that the only way to win is not to play. It's like that. And I mean exactly like that, because it's an AI playing against itself. Adrienne has not seen Joker yet, which makes me very glad I didn't say anything about it, but had an immense reservation about it for a long time. They have concerns. Oh, Alec Nice, it is very much, the better games are very much Civilization in space. Master Ryan 2 in particular has a lot in common with Master of Magic, which is a fantasy-style version of Civilization. There's a lot of inspiration drawn there. Considers that it will depict the Joker as either an angry, put-upon guy who gets pushed too far and wreaks havoc, angry young men with violent role models, or depict mental illness as a sort of source of evil yet again. I do not feel qualified to speak to any of those things. I have heard it argued that Joker is a very unhelpful depiction of mental illness, so if that is a concern, it may be a well-founded one. All right, well, that's going to be most of them. Hopefully I didn't just ruin my opportunity to do an assassination from above. Where is he? Okay, he's right there. Oh, he moved. Okay, so what we need to do is get ready to toss a wind chime out to him. I think this will get him out. Yep, okay. Oh, they found all of the bodies. Like, I enjoyed Joker a lot. It has nothing at all to do with the so-called DC movie universe that includes, like, Justice League and all the rest. It is competently made. It is visually interesting. Yeah. So, I don't know. I really don't know that I can say much about it. Except that I liked it, and I think that people who have reservations about its depiction of mental illness and sort of making excuse. See, again, I'm not even sure quite how to describe it, but I think that there's a point to be made there.
You're going to be all right.
I hoped you would come.
You're safe now.
Alec Knight is saying that IGN probably regrets that review. Maybe they do. The thing is, like, I don't care. Like, whoever wrote that review either didn't play the game at all, or, like Bruce Garrick said, played it, couldn't comprehend what it was that they were supposed to do or how it was meant to be played, and therefore wrote a positive review predicated on the idea that, like, well, it must be really complicated because I'm smart and I can't figure it out. That's irresponsible. Hold on, we're not abandoning the hostages. I just want to follow Yellowbird and find out what she wants to show me. Ooh. A new outfit. Wandering warrior who brings terror to evil spirits. I would settle for bringing terror to the Mongolians, but... not just yet. Mostly, like, maybe it's just, I would say that my takeaway from Joker, among other things, was it made me regret that smarter people are not doing the DC universe, because there are interesting stories to tell there, and when you get good actors and good, or at least thoughtful writing, you can come away with something that is an Oscar contender, as that one was. I want to see what Devin wrote. I'm just trying to focus on not letting the hostages get killed. Oh, the jig is up. Oh, sorry. Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to fuck off.
Don't! Please!
Draw has to go to sleep. Thank you very much for stopping by, and thank you again for the follow. Hopefully this is a great community, unlike the last one that kicked and banned him for interacting with the host.
Please,
No saying name goodbye. Oh, well, yeah, no, if you have a bad experience with a streamer, then yeah, heading on off, but hopefully we're a good community. And as Drian says, I hope that you sleep well.
Sakai, you have my thanks.
Go, and stay safe.
So, Devin is saying that, I don't know if you played Detroit Become Human, but whether you have or have not, do you think the game was built correctly from a hyping up standpoint? So, I did not perceive any of the hype. I didn't pay attention to it. I can make several predictions. They talked a lot about the size of the script. They showed off a lot of their digital actors. They talked about, like, how much the story can branch out. That's those are, and the reason that I would say those things is that those are all standard David Cage is making a video game comments. That has been the word ever since Indigo Prophecy / Fahrenheit. I have played Detroit Become Human. We actually have a full playthrough up on the channel, if anybody's curious. It is in our collections, and you can see the whole game from start to finish. And I do like to point this out. If you watch my playthrough, you will see an ending that I feel confident you have not seen before, because without giving any story beats away whatsoever, the ending that I got was seen by 1% of other players. And that was not on purpose. I really tried. It was an adventure, I will say that. Sorry, we are still looking for at least 2 more hostages, I think. Or 1 more. So in terms of, like, building it up from a hype standpoint, I feel like David Cage and Quantic Dream is a known quantity. Like, if you don't know what you're getting with one of those games, it's you just haven't played other Quantic Dream games, I guess. Like I don't know how else to parse that. Quantic Dream does a very, very specific style of game. These sort of like narrative adventures with a... Oh boy, I did not see the other one. With a heavy emphasis on choice, and having that choice have some rather dramatic, not perfect, but some rather dramatic consequences in the story. And to that extent, I liked what I played of Detroit Become Human quite a bit. And by what I played, I mean like the storyline that I got, and I don't know where the other war horns are coming from. Now, there's a lot to say about David Cage and Quantic Dream and the way that they treat their developers and women on the team in particular. It is a rather nasty company.
We owe you our lives. Take this key to Gosaku's armor. Put it to good use.
Have you ever seen the armor yourself?
We'd never dare look, my lord. We were to keep it safe for someone like you.
I think that's 4 of the 6 keys. Yeah, David Cage and Quantic Dream is a complicated conversation to have. One of the... You know, to the extent that we can separate the artist from the art, I am very, very glad that companies like Quantic Dream are pushing the boundaries of what a narrative game can be and tackling them with, you know, A-list celebrity talent and top-edge graphics engines and story beats that really can diverge very, very far depending on the choices that you make. I don't know very, very far, but you feel the weight of your choices when you play a Quantic Dream game. It would be 1,000 times better if they could figure out a way to do that without shaming and brutalizing and demoralizing their staff members in the way that they do, that has now been widely reported on. This is my understanding of it, at least. Oh, wow, this guy, this guy was not even, like, surprised for a moment. Oh, boy. My, block is not working in the way that I would expect it to, at all. Block. Oh, there he is. Boy, very little of that went my way. Devin is saying, what franchise would you like to see make a game? It could be from a company that hasn't made a game in a while, or movie or a cartoon franchise. Well, hold on, let me, rescue this person.
Hold still.
My life is yours, Lord Sakai.
I'll see that you keep it. I could use information about the area.
I don't know much. Just that the Mongols have taken over the lighthouse on Kubara's coast.
A fine outpost for scouting. Thank you.
Like, David Cage strikes me as someone who desperately, desperately needs an editor. He needs somebody to look over his shoulder and say, okay, you have some good and interesting ideas about game design, but someone needs to look over your actual writing because it has a lot of really severe problems. Of the two, yeah, I'm gonna take that one. Just, so Devin is asking, what would I like to see made into a game? Oh, I actually have a very, very specific answer. I want to play a game about Falcon from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That dude, Anthony Mackie's character, I don't know, it's just Falcon. Anthony Mackie's character, everything that guy does in all of those movies is what I want to do in a video game. He looks like he is having so much fun out there. Okay, a family's escape. Toku, we found a way down the cliffs. It's a dangerous climb, but it seems safer near the waterfall. The boat is meant to come tonight. You have to make it. Father says there won't be another chance. We don't want to leave without you, but we can't stay. I hope you understand. Oh, I didn't look at it. Hold on. Like a master calligrapher's brush drawn in blood. This. All right, I gotta say that is a pretty badass set. I kind of like that one. We're gonna switch to that. Oh no! The worst game Haseo ever played was Final Fantasy XII. Wow. Because I have played, and I don't feel like I've quite finished with Devin's question either. Oh, we did it. We did it. We liberated the whole prefecture, which is interesting because we only have 4 of the 6 keys, I think. Let's go take a quick look. Collections. Artifacts? Satchel. No. Exploration. Keys. I know we found it. Didn't we just find it? Key items? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got 4 of the 6 keys, and they all came from this region of the world. Do we really think that there's only 1 key in the other 2 regions? Because that's weird. Well, while we think about it, let's go here. Drian would vote for another Legacy of Kain game. I would love to see a Legacy of Kain game. Specifically, if it were up to me. Like, if I just had $1 billion and could hand-wave anything that I wanted into existence. I would like to see Soul Reaver specifically redone from the ground up with everything that had originally been intended to be in there. Because that game was reportedly cut back quite a bit due to budget issues. Like, it was there was so much in their original design that a bunch of it had to be cut out, and I would like to see their original vision for it
helps.
Completely delivered.
Worthy of a samurai.
But yeah, my ultimate wish would be, like, I would like an open world third-person action game with Falcon from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I want to be able to fly. I want to be able to deploy that drone. I want to, like, in my head, it would play a lot like Just Cause, except, like, Just Cause 2, which is really good, with a little bit more flight mechanics. You'd be able to upgrade your suit and configure it for, like, different types of missions and stuff like that. I think that Falcon is, from what I've seen in the MCU, a deeply underserved character, because he would be a ton of fun. But yeah, Haseo was saying that the worst game he ever played was Final Fantasy XII. Sad in his heart because he loves Final Fantasy games. I have played Final Fantasy XII probably 3 times to an extremely specific point. And I don't want to talk about it because, like specify which point it is, because it's actually on the docket to be streamed here someday. It's been re-released and remastered and rebalanced and so forth. And I, like, from what I've played of it, which is, let's say, through the end of Act 1, question mark? I'm not really sure of what the, like, whole arc of the game is, but I haven't played super far into it, but I really liked what I've played, what I did play of it. So it's interesting for somebody who, like, Haseo knows his JRPGs real well. So it is interesting to hear that it's, like, the worst game that he's ever played. Yeah, Devin's saying that Just Cause was also his point of comparison for a Falcon game. Hey, wasn't there a climb? Like, there was like a shrine that I couldn't do before. Did we ever go back to that one? Because now I'm thinking that I probably needed to have the grappling hook, and now that I have it, should be pretty straightforward to get there. The thing about Final Fantasy 12, and I've said this before, so, like, longtime fans of the channel are probably tired of this, but, like, Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 12 is just Star Wars. It is like the original Star Wars trilogy, and the comparisons are so numerous and so specific that it is impossible for it to have been by accident. And to me, it's extremely funny, because you are basically watching the story of Star Wars retold in a science fiction-like fantasy universe, but it is like beat for beat exactly the same tale. It's very funny to me. I appreciate what I've seen of Final Fantasy 12. So we cannot go up from here, I think. Okay, so let's go down. Yeah, other like bad games or games that I didn't enjoy very much. I've talked perhaps too much on this channel that Final Fantasy 15 was not for me. Ys 8 sort of didn't really get a lot out of that one. Specifically, I got 30 hours out of that one and said, that is enough now. I don't want to play Ys 8 anymore. I'm not convinced this was the right way to go. Oh, no, it's exactly the way to go. Devin the Nugget, and hold on, there's a little bit of, oh, no, this is super not the way to go. Hold on, if I read chat too carefully, I'm going to tumble off a cliff, so hold on for just a second. There was another way down here, so I think, yep, there we go. Devin the Nugget is saying... One second. What are your thoughts on the supposed Superman game Rocksteady was supposed to come out with? As far as I know, that was a lot of supposition based on the idea that, like, Metropolis and so forth had been, like, name-dropped in Rocksteady's other games. Like, that they were building up their cinematic universe. I don't know where to go. Oh, now I know where to go. In other words, like, I don't think that Rocksteady ever said anything about, like, we are working on a Superman game or anything else. I do know that there was also a lot of supposition that they were going to do a Suicide Squad game, and that was based on, like, some very specific things that happened in one of their games, and it turns out that that is what they're doing. So I feel like I don't believe that if there was ever a Superman game in development at Rocksteady, I personally don't believe that it ever made it past like a pitch phase. You know, I don't think it ever went into pre-production even. Now, a second question would be, how do I feel about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that Rocksteady was also allegedly going to come out with? Which again, they never said we're working on this game, and this was just people kind of talking about how cool it would be if true, and it wasn't true. And my response to that is, okay, well, so there's two things. One, if anybody could make a Superman game fun, Rocksteady could. Like, they are very, very good at third-person action games. They are, in my opinion, probably unparalleled in that genre as of Arkham Knight. So they could do a Superman game, and I would enjoy playing it a whole bunch. I have specific ideas on what I would want a Superman game to be, which I can share, but I would have a lot of faith if they decided to do it. As far as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, which I can't quite say, that I am slightly, like, even more disappointed about, because I would really love to see them take on that franchise, that canon. Also, Isao was saying that this shrine was a lot like Uncharted. He just did it last night. Yeah, it was, with like the crumbling stepstones and so forth. Okay, the Kami of Medicine. So if I was to guess, you heal more when you use Resolve. Oh, slowly recover health while outside of combat. Well, that hasn't been as much of an issue. Like, I've been doing pretty well on that, so we will leave that aside. If I was going to put that onto something, it would be the Traveler's attire. Oh, glad I looked back there. Because that is usually what I'm wearing when I'm out of combat. Devin says, well, since we're talking about TMNT, did you like the Out of Shadows video game he did? Out of the Shadows. That was... Was that one of the movies, or was that the game that they did, like the 4-person co-op game that came out a couple years ago? I feel like I've heard of Out of the Shadows, and it's not coming to mind super brightly. Hold on, there was one shrine that I couldn't do when I found it. Ah, it's right here. Okay, yeah, hold on, before I forget again. Guys, I really, really thought that I was gonna, like, do Southern Island stuff for, like, 5 minutes and then go on to the second island. Oh, wait. I need to go this way. Devin says, we were talking about Arkham. Do you like the Arkham Knights game from what we've seen so far? Would you prefer the old format of Arkham games? So, I know that, like, there's been a trailer for Gotham Knights, or whatever it's called, but I have not watched it. My thought is that I'm very, very likely to play it, and I want to go into that as unspoiled as possible. With that said, I am perfectly comfortable with the idea of a different company trying their hand at a new style of gameplay. In other words, I don't think I can answer that until I've tried it. I want to see what it is that they do. To have a reflexive, this isn't like it used to be, so therefore it's not as good. Well, I mean, what if it's just different and also good? Now, that said, I very much like the old format of the Arkham games, but without going too deep into it, I feel like they told the trilogy that they wanted to. Like, we have 3 Rocksteady Batman games. They tell a complete, continuous story. it is very, very good. I'm not sure that I needed to have a fourth. Now, there was a time when I might have said the same thing about Uncharted, and then I did Uncharted 4, and that game is, like, really good. So I'm sorry, it's R2, I think? Yes, okay. So yeah, I guess that's my answer. I look forward to Gotham Knights. Hopefully it is good, and if it is not good, then I will not play it. I do see the hole on the left. I'm just gonna grab this stuff first. I will say that if Gotham Knights was being made by... Wait, we've got a fork in the road. Okay, let me go this way first. Okay, that looks like an elaborate new way to go. Let me go back in. I'm going to check the other pathway. Because there might be like a cool secret or something over here. Arrows. Another crawl under. And no other way out. Okay. Oh, what I was going to say is that, like, one of the hooks of Gotham Knights is that you get to play as, like, 4 different characters or something. That is something that Rocksteady really excelled at, because there are multiple different playable characters in the mainline Arkham games. So wait, what is the point of this area? It's just like a little turnaround with some arrows in it? That's weird. That's super weird. Yeah, maybe there's nothing else to this. It's just like a weird branch in the path that you can go down. Haseo just did this one as well. I'm tempted to ask Haseo, is there something to that turnaround that I'm missing? Because it's just... It's weird when a game developer spends development time designing a place that has no purpose. It's a little bit metagamey, but you come to an area of the world that you can get to, and there doesn't seem to be any earthly reason for you to do it. And you have to, like, at least I think to myself, okay, somebody designed this offshoot. Somebody put this here. Why is it here? They're not like a natural formation that people just decided to set the game in. Like, there's a intelligent design at work. So why did somebody intelligently design this? Ah, he confirms that I'm going the right way. Also, it's just, I know this is dumb, but it really bothers me that I'm crawling through very narrow tunnels with the hat. There we go. Now I can fit into small places. I do want to keep one eye on the time because... So I have a question for folks as well that I want to ask in just a second. But I do want to keep an eye on the time because we're going to want to toss over to twitch.tv/morethanamia starting about 5 p.m. Eastern. And that is a little bit earlier than normal. She's retooled her times so that she can have some more hours with folks and hopefully make it easier for her European friends to join in. So I'm going to jump towards that. I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to press R2, and there's a 30% chance that it's just not going to latch. It hasn't been the most reliable for me, and I'm ready to accept my share of blame. I just don't know what to do better about it. Okay, but run. Just do me the favor and, like, run towards it, Jin. Okay. So I will read Devin's comment in just a second, but, like, on the whole, so, like, this stream right here, the one that we've done, I thought that I'd be continuing with some story stuff and didn't. This idea of, like, I'm playing the game, but also we have some time to sort of, like, you know, talk about, like, whatever. Like, what's a game you'd like to see? What's the worst game you've ever played? What do you think of Gotham Knights? Is this fun? Like, do people enjoy it? because mostly here on the channel, what I do is a lot of dedicated story games, and sometimes that can make it very challenging to interact with chat. Has some resources over there. I don't think I want them enough to go there now, because I think I'd have to redo part of the shrine. And one of the things that I wanted to do in like one of the things that I like about open world games, that there's some time to talk. You know, we're navigating the world, we're looking for things, we're climbing up cliffs, and I could narrate the fact that I'm climbing a cliff, but it seems like a great opportunity to just have a chat and to, you know, talk about different topics and different games and stuff. So hopefully it's fun for people to watch as well. Devin says, what? Well, hold on one second. Charm of the Kami of Creation. I'm going to read Devin's in just a second. Landing a headshot has a 40% chance to return an arrow. Well, I think we know exactly which armor set that's going to go into. Let's go here, and let's go to Tadiori's armor. There we go. And so I do want the Charm of Efficiency, but like this is a slot that we have to put a major charm into. So yes, we're going to put that in. Now, where do we want the... Oh, yeah, Charm of Immunity. That sucks. Charm of Efficiency. There we go. Got it. All right, and now we're going to switch back to our... Hello to Ricardinho. So Devin had asked... Ricardinho, I hope you're having a nice Wednesday. What do you think determines a game should be continued? Like Batman Arkham City could have stopped there and not gone into Arkham Knight. Same thing you just said with Uncharted. You can even make the point with The Last of Us. So, and let's tread carefully around The Last of Us, because I have not played The Last of Us 2 yet. I would very much like to, so I cannot speak to that. So I am delivering this information from the perspective of someone who has only played the first Last of Us. Pending additional information, I would not have, you know, been excited about or authorized a sequel to that game. I feel like the story that is told in The Last of Us is a full and complete one. It's not that I'm mad that a sequel exists, it's just that, as you just said... Okay, well, we didn't die doing it. Like... The story in The Last of Us is a complete tale, and although there is space in the universe to tell additional ones, they don't feel necessary. I would have said the same thing about BioShock 2, another game that... Sorry, BioShock, the first BioShock, that tells a full and complete tale, and it doesn't immediately feel natural for there to be any additional... room there. And yet then we got BioShock 2, which was very good, Minerva's Den, which is arguably one of the best BioShock experiences that you can have. I mean, it's so tightly constructed. Do you think there's anything out here? Yeah, I think there's some land out there. Oh, and then BioShock Infinite, which... Just, I really, really liked BioShock Infinite, you guys. It was such a good game.
Thieves and murderers are everywhere. But the bandits preying on Hiyoshi are worse than the invaders.
The worst one can do is take advantage of their own people.
A woman at Kechi Fishing Village lost her whole family to the fiends. I'm sure she'd appreciate the comfort of a samurai.
Ricardo, you are not the only person who just woke up. Drienne woke up not too long ago as well. Apparently this was a good day to sleep in. I envy you both. Well, actually, you're in a very different time zone, so... Nonetheless, I hope you got a good night's rest, and then I will envy you. Okay, so, but Devin's actual question was, like, when do you think that a game should be continued or not? The answer to that is, are there new stories to tell? Like, my opinion of it doesn't matter. Because, again, I would have said no more BioShock after the first game, and then I would have lost out on 2 games that are extremely good. 2 games that further refine the gameplay mechanics and tell exciting new stories that I deeply, deeply enjoyed. So I am not the arbiter of whether something should or should not be continued. Rather, the writers of the game are, or arguably the people that design the mechanics.
Quickly, Sora.
Which I hope doesn't come across as like trying to dodge the question. It's just, it is, you know, we got 3 Uncharted games, and I said, that is an excellent amount of Uncharted. I am content and happy with the amount of Uncharted that we got. We have a full and complete trilogy. The 3 games are very, very good. I like them a lot. I don't have a lot of need to see more of this. And then Uncharted 4 comes out, and it is exceptionally good. I would again argue that we now have a sufficient amount of that Uncharted. I would love to see some more of like the Lost Legacy style with those characters. I really enjoyed that. Devin, I don't know if you were present, but I think just before this game we played all the way through Lost Legacy. Yeah, okay, so this is not unfogging. I think that that's everything from down here. So let's set a course for here. Yeah, Drienne votes Lost Legacy 2, please. Devin thinks the Bioshock series is one of the few that all of its games are very good. I'm pleased to hear that. We agree on that. It seems to be the cultural zeitgeist that Infinite wasn't very good because it wasn't what was originally shown off in the trailers. So allow me to submit example number 500 on why I don't watch reviews or previews or trailers or any sort of hype messaging for games that I'm already planning to play. I was always going to play Bioshock Infinite. There was a 100% chance. Okay. Hold on. I think we need to deal with the archer first. I know I'm really going to pay the price for this comment later, but I really am feeling like I'm starting to have some facility with the combat. And I know I took a lot of hits there. Like, I'm not saying that I'm awesome at it, but I understand... I have a developing understanding of the enemy attack patterns, which only means, like, let me just call this shot. The game is about to, like, really ruin me by introducing all new enemies with all new attack patterns. This is why they've introduced a new region of the map. Anyway. Devin would like a Heavenly Sword or Enslaved remake for the PlayStation 5. So, it is the Heavenly Sword people that made, Drienne, help me out. Hellblade, I think. So I never played Heavenly Sword. I know that it looked really good, and what I heard about it is that Heavenly Sword could be played start to finish in a single sitting, which is not the same thing as saying that it's bad, but to release I think that was a full $60 release for a game that is like, 5 hours long. And don't quote me on the 5 hours, but like a very, very short adventure. That's a lot of money to ask relative to other games that ask the same amount of money for a lot more potential time investment. Length of a game is not a primary driver of quality, but when I spend $60 on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and play it for, like, look at our playthrough. What is that? 160 hours or something like that. To then pay $60 for a game that is 5 hours long, it's the sort of decision that I'm more likely to wait for a sale. Hold on, let's do our critical strike. Is that it? Oh, and sorry, just to round out the thought. Yeah, so Ninja Theory, which Drienne is confirming that's the studio, I don't think it is true in any way that Hellblade is in any way a follow-up or sequel to, like, a spiritual successor to Heavenly Sword. Like, definitely not. But is it a refinement of some of the ideas that they might have been aiming for at the time? That could be.
There's no way I can repay you for this, Lord Sakai.
You don't have to. Just tell me. How did they capture you?
I was traveling the roads, looking for help. But I can't see well at night. Didn't see the Mongols camped along the path until it was too late.
If they're still there, I'll take care of them. Go. You're free.
Alknak says that he is playing Dark Souls 3 while he waits. Can't wait to play Destiny 2. I hope it lives up to the hype. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are really excited. There was like a lot of login issues with that as well. But yeah, like, my uninformed, ignorant sense of it is that Heavenly Sword came out and people were like, this is really good for the amount that it is. We hope this studio does more someday. And I think, like, Ninja Theory has done other things since then. But then here they come with Hellblade, that is also a third-person action game, but they use it to, I don't think make a statement is quite the right phrasing, that they wanted to explore a real-world, not phenomenon, but experience of mental illness in a way that was empathetic and constructive and could be used to explore new kinds of gameplay mechanics in a way that was, like, respectful and interesting. And I think that it really, really hit the mark on that. So that's what I like about a studio that sort of goes out of its way to think, like, we know how to design a good game. Can we design a meaningful game? And that, I think, is a very cool question to ask and then answer as successfully as they did. Non-exploitative is a very good way that Drienne just phrased it. Devin is saying, what game do or did you have the most hours on? Wait. Uh-oh. Did anyone see where that fox went? I hear him. Okay. Oh, wait, I went right by it. Thank you, fox. I didn't see that at all. Whoa, wait, we got it. So let's all find out what the charm... Devin, I will answer the question in just a second. Offensive charm is all it says. Oh, look at this. Increases health and melee damage by a minor amount. Honor additional Inari charms tries to permanently increase this charm's effectiveness. Yes, I will do that. So right now, the minor amount isn't all that exciting, but if we can upgrade it and forge it into a major thing, that would be exciting. All right, so we've got a few more things up here to do. The reason I asked quickly about, like, is this fun for people to see is that, like, here's my thought on it. Me just going around and, you know, collecting these things on stream, absent any sort of commentary or discussion, that doesn't seem so interesting. Like, we like to show games off for... Uh-oh. We like to show games as they are. You know, no cheat codes, no major, like, exploitative glitches or anything like that. Like, this is what the game is, and have always typically done games, like, to their fullest extent. Now, that said, this is all stuff that could be done off-stream if people are like, no, I really just want to see the next main story beat. Like, I could just log in on, like, you know, a random Monday and do a bunch of this stuff if it was just inherently uninteresting to folks. But my preference is to give a complete vision of what the game is, and for folks to understand, like, these things that I'm doing now are optional, but I like the game so much that I want to do them. Oh, just very, very quickly to round out what I was saying about BioShock Infinite. Yeah, it turns out that a lot of people compare the release product of BioShock Infinite to a sort of, like, aspirational Target trailer that was put out by the developer ahead of release. And the mechanics shown off in that are both, I would submit, massive spoilers for what can be done in the game, and also misrepresentative of how the game actually plays. And that is true because it was based off of a pre-alpha theoretical build on what the developers were hoping to accomplish. So to hold the game up to that standard seems a little unreasonable to me. And it's an example of why I was always going to play BioShock Infinite. So at that point, why look at the trailers for it? Devin was asking earlier about, like, hyping a game up and stuff like that. You cannot get inappropriately hyped if you don't look at any of the advertising. The same is true of, like, Miles Morales, for example. I've done my level-headed best not to know... Why can't I... The hell? Okay. I was having a lot of difficulty getting off the horse there. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, let's not take a look at it. Okay. Hold on a second. I keep picking up these sword sets and then not putting them on. So let's switch to our Samurai Clan armor. I have the ability to put in another charm. So this is my defensive set. This is when I'm going into something that's going to cause me a lot of incoming damage. So it reduces all damage by a minor amount. That's an early favorite. Also, moderate increase to health is probably even a little bit better. Charm of Well-Being is okay. It's not that big of a deal. I think I'm going to go with this. Now, let's take a quick look at the... Yeah, so what kind of... So here's the one we just got. Oh, look at that. Look at the spikes on the hilt. Oh, that looks savage. I'm going to go with that. So... Okay, so Devin the Nugget was asking, what game do I have the most time in? So I can narrow it down to a handful. Civilization 4, Stellaris, Mass Orion 2, I mean, I played a lot of I've played a lot of XCOM 2, but I don't think that's in the same field. Not yet. I think you can still get there. And, like, I've played a lot of Infamous, right? Like, you know, the same game studio that made this game also did the Infamous games. Still haven't played Second Son, interestingly. But like, those games are not nearly as long. Like, hold on, we found a fox den. There's also a fight going on over there. Fox, I'm with you. The thing about strategy games is that they are both very, very long to play through any individual game, and I like to play them at, like, the highest, like, the longest period of time. Like, I like to play Civilization 6 on, like, the epic settings so that the games take a really, really long time, because I feel like it gives your troop experience and upgrades a lot more meaning. So when I play like Civilization 5, Civilization 6, Civilization 4, I am playing those games like an individual playthrough will last for dozens of hours. But yeah, Stellaris has several hundred hours for sure. As are Civilization 4. So I didn't play Civilization 5 as much as I think I've played Civilization 6 at this point. I think Civilization 6 is a really, really good game. Let's see. So here's so let's briefly omit strategy games because they're so replayable and they're so long that they skew the numbers. After that, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Divinity Original Sin 2, both of which are like have very, very heavy RPG elements and are very, very large games. Lots of dialogue that I like to listen to.
Let's see.
Make your move, son. Oh! Oh! Just so everybody knows, as far as I can tell, when Jin is putting his, like, put away sword animation, it cannot be interrupted. And I think that that is intentional. I think that's the developer's way of saying, like, you can sheath your sword like you're a badass, but if you do it at the wrong time, you're really gonna feel like an idiot. And I like it. So Dran say, I don't know if you saw my answer earlier to a question about interaction on stream, but there's one thing I would add to it. They're always waiting for a lull between story for discussion. Like when you stream yourself, right? Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I like interacting with chat, but I also naturally feel like people are coming through to see a stream because they want to see some of the game. And it can be challenging sometimes to find a good balance. Oh, it is 5, by the way. Drienne, if you notice that Mia comes live, if you could let me know, and then we are going to toss over to her. Hopefully I will have time to get this one last question mark, which I think Yellowbird is going to bring us to. Probably the Baldur's Gate franchise, continuing with the answer on like what games have I spent the most time with, the most number of hours, because I have played Baldur's Gate, the first one, all the way through twice, and I played through Baldur's Gate 2 once, and here's a fun fact. I have never finished Throne of Baal, which was the expansion pack that was so large, it was effectively Baldur's Gate 3 before we actually got a Baldur's Gate 3. And then there's the Anno games. Like, actually, I was really surprised to discover as of today that I only have like 200 hours in Anno 2070 because I've played a ton of that game, and believe me, it is a very, very addictive game. Let's reflect on changes in my uncle.
Uncle seems so much older. Maybe the war aged him. Or I never noticed before.
I would love to go back to, like, the first episode and see how much longer the bar is now. That was very good, Chivalry. Chivalry says that Mia is getting things warmed up, and the shot of his butt, his butt really helped. I was just thinking, like, how unfortunate that Mia isn't going to, be here for that. So we've gone up here, and look, see, it's just still like shaded, even though we went there. The edges of the map seem to remain cloaked in mist. So that's a lake. Yes, it is. So hold on. Can I change the filter on the map in any way? I can zoom, I can recenter, I can track, I can pan. I don't see a legend unless I'm misseeing it. Because what I would want to do is just hide all the done markers to see if there's anything else that I haven't done that is not like this, or like a township. Because I feel like we've done everything in the south here. Wait, is that a... No, that's complete. Okay. Yeah, we actually just did that a short time ago. Oh, wait, look at this stuff. All right, we'll head over there. I have a feeling that we're going to... hello to Brian. She is live now. Okay, so actually that is a wonderful place to stop. So, for our next episode, what we're going to do is pretty much what I said we were going to do this episode, which is do these 3 things out here, and then we will at long last be going up to Toyotama. Yeah, this was a super fun sort of ride around the south, and I feel like we got a chance to talk a bunch. Hello to Brian. Please join us as we bounce over to twitch.tv/morethanamia. And I would really like to thank Devin the Nugget, Drienne Levode, Ricardinho, Haseo. I'm very worried that I'm forgetting somebody. The new fellow, Jara, who just stopped by. This was super fun. Just gonna sit, talk for a while as we went through the world of Ghost of Tsushima. I feel like we had a lot of interesting topics to talk about. So thank you all very much. We will be back for episode 12 as early as tomorrow. I can't quite commit, but fingers crossed. And until then, we are going to go toss over to twitch.tv/morethanamia. On the way out, please do check out our About page, where we've got links to many of the streamers that we love. Not all of them, but folks like Haseo, Drienne, Tashir Games, Mr. Binky, Mr. Bones, the Sunny Panda, Papalatko, and many, many, many more. He Who Dies, Toxic. I gotta think if Sanka is still on there, but please check them out because they are all so talented. And whatever you think of this stream, I think that you will find a ton of wonderful content in our broader community. With that, we're going to toss over to More Than a Mia, and I hope you all have a great night.